Hey, this is the World Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is the topic of how gangster rap is being used to control people. In other words, the truth about gangster rap, which is that it is being used as a way, like I was saying before, to control people. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to explain how it's being used to control people. So now that I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to the truth about how gangster rap is being used to control people, it uses one of the simplest ways to control people: pleasure as a way to control people. Okay, and that's the truth about entertainment nowadays. Okay, specifically music. Music has been used as a way to control people, which of course, specifically, of course, has been used as a way to control black people, to be specific. Okay, and the truth of the matter, when it comes to entertainment, to put it bluntly, um, and how gangster rap is being used to control black people. Okay, the main thing I want to discuss is the power of entertainment and how it's so powerful. And through that, I'll explain later on how they're using that to control black people in particular. Okay, powerful rich white men. Okay, so first and foremost, let's explain, of course, in detail, the power of entertainment. The truth of the matter is, when it comes to the power of entertainment, entertainment obviously offers pleasure. Okay, it's a way to not only give people ideas, spread misinformation, and so on and so forth, but it's a way of using pleasure to control people. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, life, especially in the modern world, since we don't have all the drama and chaos that used to happen anywhere from hundreds, thousands of years ago, that at least kept people occupied, and at least, despite its negativity, at least made life interesting. We don't really have that anymore in the modern world, for that matter. Okay, and all that stuff is pretty much kind of done, to put it bluntly. Okay, so most of our lives without entertainment, like TV shows, movies, music, whatever, would actually be extremely boring, and not just boring, but redundant. So entertainment, of course, you know, is a way to, of course, make people's lives actually interesting. It offers pleasure in a world where there's not really much pleasure out there. The only thing aside from entertainment that can offer pleasure on a day-to-day basis, for that matter, would just really just simply be something like, for example, um, food. But even then, you can only eat food so much until you get sick of it. So the truth of the matter is, pleasure through entertainment is a great way to obviously control people. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, when it comes to entertainment, specifically, of course, as the name of the title of this video shows, the main thing we're talking about, of course, is rap music. And of course, rap music is a part of music. The truth about music, when it comes to the power music has, is that the power music has, um, is it has an extreme power over people. And when you look at history books, specifically during the time of the Vietnam War, for crying out loud, the Vietnam War, as I'm certain you're all aware of, you know, it it helped make people go from supporting the war, which at one point the American public was at least kind of more in support of it, to just straight up hating it, especially among a younger generation of people. So the truth of the matter is, that's a power music has. It has a way to control people. And especially when you take into consideration that we live in a world nowadays where a nation like America, obviously, and all the powerful nations have a lot of weapons and so on and so forth, that make it just about impossible to rebel. Music is one of the greatest ways people can use to rebel against the system without having to put all the time and energy into using weapons and all that stuff, which, of course, when you look at how badly they treated African Americans historically, you could see more than enough reasons why there would be, of course, a desire, historically at least, to want to rebel. Okay? So music has a power, and entertainment, but specifically music, has a power to make it possible to fight back. Even though it might sound trivial, it's a good way to fight back, because not only can it be used to manipulate people through the pleasure of it, like people who obviously might serve in the military who are black, or even white people who might be, not in a big fan of the mistreatment of black people and so on and so forth, and all that type of stuff. It makes it possible to take them and not just take them, but make them fight on the opposing side against this system that's used to control people, for that matter, that's used to control black people, specifically the racist system. So that's a true power of music. It has that power over people. Okay, it can really do something to people because it's the easiest way to rebel, and that's why the government is trying to control it. It's easy to produce. It's not easy, of course, to produce to become a master at it, of course not. But compared to the other methods, it's definitely easier to do. And not to mention that, it can also be listened to throughout the world and make people from other nations go like, "Oh, what you guys are doing to African Americans is wrong," and be more likely to join, you know, and even for crying out loud, might even be willing to fight, not just join the cause against anti-black racism, but willing to fight for crying out loud against America because they themselves have their own issues with America in particular that I'm certain exists. So the truth of the matter is that's a power music has, okay, over people, okay? So now, of course, when it comes to talking about gangster rap specifically, that is why they use gangster rap to control and black people because it's a form of pleasure. Because at some point you're gonna want to listen to something when it comes to music. I know people might think entertainment is trivial, but I don't find it trivial at all. It really does have a lot of power. Okay, we see it as something like, oh, it's just a joke. Don't take it too seriously, but it does have a power over people because just like anything in the world, like food cravings, maybe cravings for, of course, sex. People get cravings for wanting to listen to music. To be quite blunt and honest with you, it's a real craving out there. So it's like anything in the world; it can be used as a way to to um to manipulate people's pleasure, to manipulate pleasure as a way to promote the destructive lifestyles towards on certain groups of people. So that's the truth I'm trying to get across here, to put it bluntly. That's why it's so powerful. Okay, like any form of entertainment. So the truth of the matter is, when it comes to that particular topic, that is the truth about gangster rap. It's being used as a way to control people. I'm not saying that they can't talk about hood shit every so often, because of course, sometimes you want to make music that's relatable by talking about negative things, because you don't want to come off as Mr. Goody Two Shoes, the Brady Bunch type way, where you only talk about positivity. But there's a difference between talking about it sometimes versus talking about it all the time. Then that becomes a case of, yeah, it's trying to weaponize, especially with things like trap rap and specifically drill music and all that stuff. It's just a case of, okay, they're clearly trying to pull off a psyop on us. Okay, it's not even like in the 1990s where it's like, okay, some rappers talk about this stuff. No, they're just putting it out there for everyone to talk about it nowadays. So the truth of the matter is that's the truth of the matter. It's being used as a weapon, way to weaponize the. To, it's being used to weaponize to destroy the black community and stuff because they talk about it simply too damn god much, and that's the truth of the matter. Okay, so that is the truth when it comes to this particular topic. Okay, when it comes to it. Because in the end of the day, what if we made rap music? And that's a question I always ask people who might think this is a bit far fetched. What if we made rap music like that talked about revolution and actually didn't suck like a lot of the old rappers and all those people who made conscious music made, okay? It didn't suck. Most of it kind of sucked. Let's keep it real now. It wasn't the greatest. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if people want to listen to music talking about revolution? Can you imagine how many people would be fucking angry and not just through the messages they hear, but even willing to fight and use their energy. And music gives you energy, just like why don't they play music in a freaking gym? Can you imagine having someone who, especially a black person, who, oh boy, we've been through a lot, have to listen to some hard ass rap music that's talking about revolution, and you're just having a bad day and a white person's piss you off, you already have more energy to punch him in the face and give him a harder hit. Now try to magnify that on a national level of tens of millions of people in America who have a history of being oppressed, and some of them have firearms. What do you think would happen if we actually had rap music that was trending now, talked about revolution, and was talking about killing people? Like, which of course would not be a good thing, but I'm just giving an example. That's a power music has over people. Not to mention all the other nations that have their own issues with America, even India. Look at how badly they treat Indians, and they're talking about Indians too. You think they wouldn't start protesting and even being willing to fight on our side? It could happen, it could not happen, but I would not say it's far fetched at all because the whole world is tired of white people and their racism. A lot of them, at least. So the truth of the matter is, that's an example right there to show you the power music has over people, and that's why they're using it as a way to weaponize to destroy our community. Okay, and that's the truth of the matter. If it was used in a good way, then I'm certain a lot of these, you know, issues wouldn't be happening. In all honesty, but aside from that, the main point is it's being weaponized because it's a form of pleasure and it's a good and it's a being used as a way to control people. And that's the truth of the matter for this video. How we're gonna change this, I don't know, but I'm just putting this out there for people to know and learn. Okay, so this is my video. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, thumb this video up and hit the subscribe button, and this is it. And